you had just finished a desperate battle in the burnt-out chapel of a Kenku settlement on the mountain. After rummaging around in the town, in the church, managed to transcribe part of a map, hoping to track down the cults before they arrived in 3 days to assault the town. Once you arrived there, you were ambushed by a number of cultists, 2 regular Kenku guys, and 1 kind of larger, more regally decorated one, who once slain was raised as an undead Deathlock, who proceeded to try and steal your shadows, blind people amongst like draining your life force with various necromantic attacks. But having slain the shadows that he rose from the corpses of his fallen cultist buddies, most of you were left unconscious and dying. However, Smick, surviving through having hidden through most of the battle, was able to get out and finish off the Deathlock as he was on his last legs, saving you all in the process from a TPK. We're currently rejoining them when you guys eventually wake up about an hour later, because thankfully you guys all made your saving throws. No thanks to Smick, he's bad at medicine checks. But yeah, so assuming you take a long rest because it is nighttime, and as you do so, you guys level up, which we've sorted out before the session, and Smick is now a 3rd level retainer. But I'll let Steph divulge that information if she wants to, because it's her retainer.
Tell us the deets.
Bobbing across the screen.
Yeah, he's got some interesting stuff now. So
he is now a beast lord.
Yes, he is a beast lord.
Amazing.
Oh,
Basically, he's like infinitely more powerful than he was before, but still not more powerful than you guys.
Sunlight sensitivity. Damn it.
He always had that, but I think it's something we forgot about a lot. Luckily, like last fight was in the dark, so that's fine.
Well, we didn't really need to bother with it because most of the fights were inside.
Yeah, and the fights where he did contribute, he's been bad anyway. So
he has it where he counts.
Yeah, this time he has like some decent stuff now. Like he's got like fucking +6 to hit, I think.
An AC of 15 that's actually higher than mine.
Yeah, no, like you gave like he's. I think I'm not sure how you want to describe it, but I think Smick probably like pulls together some of the bits of like he probably like straps like a pan to himself with some leather straps.
Like as we're selling the bag of trinkets,
by way of like a really like.
I'm like, oh, this will work.
Like, yeah, he pulls together some armor and like he starts. I think over the course of the night, he probably whittles like a bow from like a tree nearby, like a little knife he's got, and he kind of rummaged like whilst you guys are kind of like resting, he rummaged around in the village to try and find some cord to string with. And yeah, Smick has a bow now, and he's pretty good with it. Also, I think he whistles as you guys are like setting up camp, and you watch as like a hawk comes down and lands on his shoulder, but the hawk's like a third of the size of him, so he's a little bit off balance. But like he feeds it like a little bit of distractions.
To ride the hawk.
He's too big to ride the hawk, unfortunately. Man, I'm having flashbacks to like the first campaign I was in, where I was playing a player character that was sized tiny, and I was able to use like a falcon as a mount.
There's
That was pretty fun.
I was going through the monster manual. That was the main book that I was looking forward to looking at, and it has I think it's called a fairy dragon.
Yes.
And it's super tiny, and as it grows older, it goes through like the hue of the rainbow.
It does, yeah, and it gets more powerful as it does.
And I was sat there, and I'm going, I want one, but like I didn't want to spam Jake's DMs of all these monsters that I want pet of.
Yeah, no, like I think 2 years ago I was in the same position where I was like, holy shit, look at these fucking cool monsters in the fucking monster manual. Honestly, like you can build just adventures by reading like the descriptions of the monsters. Like,
oh, I already have an idea of an Egyptian themed one.
That's cool. But yeah, no, Lucifer could have had a fairy dragon if he wanted to, I think.
Familiar.
I wanted a fairy
he could have definitely
dragon.
had a
It
pseudo
was
dragon.
so cute.
But
it's
yeah,
so
Lucifer
small.
Lucifer decided to go with the Book of Shadows as opposed to having a familiar. So
I would have fucking had a familiar.
well, that was the plan. He was going to have that, and then like he looked at some of the other ones, like, I might want to have the cantrip one. I was like, okay, sure. I think he also, like, when he gets his next invocation, I think he's going to go for like the Book of Ancient Secrets, which gives him like ritual spells that he can cast. Because ritual casting a spell takes 10 extra minutes, but you cast it without spending a spell slot, which is good for a warlock because they only have 2 spell slots. Whereas most spellcasters have like 5 by this point at least.
Indeed.
So yeah,
Excellent.
as you guys kind of set up camp, what are you guys up to?
Reva's gonna turn to Smith and go, "Where the fuck did you get a hawk from?" Rah.
He kind of gives you a look, which you kind of interpret to mean that like, what do you mean? I've always had a hawk.
Do not question him. He saved all our butts.
Oh, and she's also gonna hug it because he saved us.
Yeah. He like awkwardly hugs you back, but like it's difficult because the pan gets in the way a little bit.
So he's got a hawk on his shoulder.
He does, yeah.
And my lizard has just jumped out of her tank.
I know.
So I'm gonna quickly go and put her back in.
Jumping boys.
I'd say the Krook is probably just doing nothing at the moment.
All right. Is he contemplating the existential crisis that a kobold saved his life?
Yes, that's what he's doing. We'll go with that.
Nice. Okay. But yeah. The alert fee is actually pretty good because it means that you can't be surprised. So if ever you get caught out unawares, you'll still be in that first turn.
Yeah, it means I really, really can't be surprised because I've got a danger sense as well.
Yeah. No, like it kind of works with your character because you're already kind of like pretty high wisdom and you've got like barbarian spidey sense. So alert is just like that, but more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So as you're setting up camp, what is everyone's past perception now?
13.
21.
13 still. 21. Yeah, you're definitely gonna see this. And Cookie said 14.
Yes.
Okay, I think actually, yeah, you all see this. I think Lucifer probably wouldn't, but because he's probably too busy like tending to his wounds. But yeah, you watch as kind of like off in the distance, you see kind of a streak of light kind of careen from the sky and crash to Earth, a shooting star. You can't quite see where it landed, but it looked it's somewhere on the mountain, but you're not sure if you could get to it easily. But yeah, you see this kind of
Let's try.
bright light crash to Earth.
I don't think we should. I think we should. We've got a goal. got a time limit. We need to go and
Well, first we need to rest, and then in the morning we
Yeah.
can go and see what the flashy thing was.
if it's close to the direction we're going.
Well, put it this way: we should go and see it before the cult goes and sees it.
Well, totally right. We should definitely go.
Because it could be very good or very bad, depending on who has it.
Yes. Good point.
Yeah. You've been on the mountain like a fair bit nowadays. It looks about it'll probably be about a day's travel from here. If you're going to go check it out.
That's how much time have we got left?
Well, it's currently nighttime, so you've spent one day.
Is it along the way we need to go?
It says it's gonna
You
take
don't know
one.
because you've not really investigated the area you're in, unless you want to do that now.
Well, I only have to rest for 4 hours. Probably
And as
still.
do I.
Yeah, so does Reba.
So while Lucifer and Crook, even Smick, rest.
Nick can sleep in my bag. Kind of.
Can he?
She says kind of as he
if you
looks
give
at
him
the
like padding and
pans.
shit, then sure.
Like she looks down at his pots and pans he's got his armor. Like,
We may want to get him some actual armor.
Yeah. So one thing that you realize is that like you're in a burnt out church where most of the roofs collapsed. There were other rooms that the cultists came out of when they tried to ambush you, which you've not been in.
We should probably check those out.
loot.
Yeah.
All right. So, whoever's kind of having a rummage around, I'd like you to make investigation checks.
This is good because that is my speciality.
I'll make one. I'm good at it.
What is my
Ah.
investigation?
So if we're taking my -1, I just got a 0.
Nice.
I got a nat 1 and I've got -1 to it.
Okay,
Cool.
I got a nat 1.
You got a 10.
Oh, so did I.
Okay.
Good start.
Hang on, let me get my dice out real quick. I'll make a roll for Snick.
Jake, is it possible to have an extra critical failure by having a -1 to a nat 1? Yeah.
Well, I think an extra critical failure is if you already had like a 1 in the stat and then you got a nat 1 on a disadvantage roll. That's the super crit. Super crit fail. But
Nice.
yeah,
Your brain just collapses on itself.
on skill checks, like
Ooh, Jake.
1s and 20s don't like make much difference. They're just like really good or really bad. They're not actually like critical failures or critical successes. That's mainly with attack rolls. But yeah, I'm gonna make a roll for Smick because actually, what is it? What are his primary stuff? He's got his skills are nature and stealth, but okay, he's got his primary is wisdom, so I'll give him a perception check. Because I think he probably used that. So that's fucking off the table. Okay, so Smick does notice something, thankfully. As you're kind of rummaging around in this kind of
Saves us
little
again.
offshoot, which Krook and Burial kind of recognize as kind of a similar place to where you were in the temple back in the town. Like this is kind of like a little bit that you think where the priests would have probably slept.
Okay.
You can see the burnt remains of like sleeping cots and a few other things.
Thought you were
But
gonna say a
Smick kind
body.
of like there are no bodies around here. But whilst everything's been like obviously been burned down, there's no corpses other than the cultists that killed here. But yeah, as you're kind of like rummaging around, kind of like poking around in the dark, Smick with his keen dark vision eyes
I like how, by
points
the way,
out.
my feat that I picked is observant. I fucking failed at
I know.
investigation.
Yeah, he's on your shoulder though, and he kind of like climbs out the bag, and kind of like takes a stick and pokes at the floor. And Ruby, you're probably the first one to see this once he points it out, but you can see there's a seam around one of the stone tiles on the floor.
Oh, I'm gonna go move it.
All right.
Ral, where are you going? Get off the mouse! What are you doing, you little shit? Stop it! Go up there.
I like to think that's Smick.
Get a lizard and call it Smack.
I was, but the pet
Please.
shop wasn't let me buy any pets.
Disappointing.
But yeah, with everyone's help, you're able to kind of like shift the stone trapdoor, which kind of has a hinge, you realize, and as you lift it up, beneath it you see this kind of like slightly kind of like set into the floor. This is the same thing you found back when you first went into the dungeon that you discovered before. This is one of the lifts down.
Okay. So we found a way in.
Sweet.
Are we going to use this, or are we going to right now? Have we had a rest?
No, this is still in the evening beforehand.
Let's have a rest and then.
Okay.
But yeah. So, as you're taking your rests, I'm guessing that Burial and Reaver will do a watch each.
Yep.
I'm going to say that, like, Reaver, you probably don't need to make a perception check because your passive's high enough that you'll notice anything that happens. The question is, who's going first?
Yours go first.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright. So, sorry, was that Burial's sleeping first and Reaver's watching first? Or...
Don't know.
Burial goes first.
Okay.
I'll
Burial
go
goes
watch first. I'll watch first.
Alright, Burial, make a perception check.
Hooray.
Do I need to make perception checks anymore?
Not for most things. I mean, there's some things that will kind of like most things you'll just notice, but
18.
Okay.
there are some. Okay, 18. Yeah. It's pretty still out here. Like you can occasionally hear like the wind kind of whistle through the empty buildings, but yeah, your watch passes pretty uneventfully as it is deserted up here. Most of the wildlife you usually hear kind of like sounds of owls and various other beasties scuffling around in the undergrowth. It's pretty kind of like silent up here besides the wind.
Okay.
And yeah, as you go, you kind of like tap on Reaver's shoulder as she's kind of like waking up, and you go to sleep. So, well, you trance at least. Yeah. So Reaver also doesn't notice anything aside from it being startlingly quiet in the night. Whilst Burial is asleep, and also Reaver, you notice that both. I think yeah. So Reaver notices that both. Once they're asleep, both both Burial and Lucifer kind of like stir as if they're kind of having a uncomfortable dream. Burial, as you kind of like sink into your trance, whilst like you usually don't like dream in the conventional sense, as you kind of slip into unconsciousness, you are beset by a vision.
Okay.
You can tell kind of you kind of see kind of not clearly, but you can kind of see the some sort of, you can instinctively tell an artifact, very powerful, likely elven, as it's maybe a sword, as it's swung in a battlefield, and you see a jade hand clasp the blade as it comes down to strike someone, and as it does, the sword disintegrates, and you see a wave of pearlescent energy sweep out across the land. And you see the kind of like as the kind of vision kind of zooms out, you can see this kind of wave of energy roll across the landscape, and miles away in a forest at night, you see a number of carts being pulled by horses. In the back of one, there is a woman with golden skin, white hair, and hourglasses for eyes.
What?
And as she stares up at the sky and sees the wave of energy pass overhead, she says, "Serial, you bitch," and her eyes return to normal, and she ages like 1,000 years and disintegrates.
Oh.
So
And
you're having an
at that
acid
point,
trip.
the vision ends.
Just to check, I wear glasses for eyes.
Yes,
What?
so her pupils were hourglass shaped and not like circular.
Hold on, isn't that... That's a bloody loading symbol. It's spinning. Is she processing something?
No, it's kind of like it's the infinity symbol kind of thing, as opposed to I don't know. I've not seen a loading symbol that looks like an hourglass. Well, actually, no, I know what you mean now. But yeah, no, they weren't spinning.
Okay, I'm going to put it down as an infinity symbol. Hourglass, because otherwise I'll just be confused.
Yeah, sorry, you really fucking confused me for a second there. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, Reva, like after about like an hour, Burial seems to kind of like settle back into a trance, but Lucifer is still kind of like tossing and turning in his sleep.
Yeah, it was Lucifer. God fucking knows what's going on in his head.
Yeah, no, you don't know. But yeah, so Reva, you kind of watch the sun come up, kind of beams of light streaking through the roofs
Hold
of
on,
the
can I
church.
Sorry,
Yep.
I need to check. Did that woman say burial or cereal?
Serial.
Sariel.
Burial, thank you.
You recognize the name as Elven, but other than that, you're not sure who she's referring to. But yeah,
My Crystal
you
doing
guys have
anything?
finished your long rest. You are now level 4.
My Crystal.
Hooray! I have learned to do more magic.
So yeah, what do you guys do?
My Crystal doing anything?
Lucifer.
My Crystal.
Oh, your crystal. Not at the moment, no.
Aw.
So I think we have 3 options right now. The first one is try and go further up the mountain to and find a way into the Hierophant's lair. Option 2, which is also tangentially connected to option 1, is go and try and find what that meteor was. And the third option is take the elevator down and see where it gets us. Everyone still there? Have I muted myself?
No, I'm just waiting for other people to respond because like it's a player decision, not a DM decision. So
Yeah.
Well, for meta gaming sake, and for the sanity that we don't have to run Lucifer again, you can always send Lucifer to go see what the twinkling crashing star was, and we take the elevator.
Sure.
I'm gonna keep him with you guys for now because otherwise it's gonna be hell to keep track of. Because basically, like it's a day's walk away. So like if Luke comes back next session, he's gonna be gone. Like he's not gonna be in the dungeon. So like that's like whilst it's not a bad idea. That's the kind of thing like it might be a good idea to like send Smick over to have a look at that. To be honest,
I'm
that's kind of
guessing
what
that's
retained
not
before.
happening.
But
No,
yeah, Lucifer's gonna stay with you guys because otherwise it's gonna be real difficult to get him back with you guys when he comes back.
Mhm.
So unless he's gone for like another 3 weeks, in which case who fucking knows. But yeah,
well, you can always ask Smick if he wants to go see what it is, or if he wants to stay here.
I mean he'll do what you ask him to. Like he's your follower, so. But yeah, he's kind of like he will say like he basically like says, well, if he goes over to investigate that thing, he's not gonna be there to protect you. But other than that, he's not gonna. He basically says if you want me to go look at it, I will.
He can't die, can he? Like if I send him off to do shit.
You don't know. I mean, he's not immortal, so
I mean, obviously, like if I send him into a pit of fucking snakes and then leave him, obviously he's probably gonna die. But it's like, go check that out. I don't know.
right. Yeah, I mean, it's up to you. Like you can keep with him or you can send him off. Alternatively, you could equally like you don't know what it was. Like, it looked like a shooting star. You guys have never witnessed a shooting star land next to you before. So I don't know. Like it's up to you guys how you handle that. Actually, hang on. I'm gonna make a roll real quick to see if Smick has that or
Yeah.
not. Give me a second. Let me get my d4s. Okay, yeah, sure. So kind of Smick will relay to you that he can send his hawk off to have a look.
Oh yeah.
Because the hawk basically whilst he basically says like whilst he was confused as to why you asked why he had one last night, he realizes that it is unusual that a regular hawk would then suddenly become a familiar all of a sudden. But he kind of basically the hawk he has is whilst it used to be just a regular tamed hawk, he can like telepathically connect like talk to it within a certain distance. So if he can get the hawk to go have a look at it, the hawk can come back and report to him later, and it will be quick for the hawk. But if we run into any combats, he won't be able to use it to like attack people and stuff like that.
Might be best to use the hawk.
Yeah, that'd be better.
Basically, mechanically speaking, you can send off Smick's familiar to have a look at it, but you won't be able to use his third level trait on the retainer sheet.
Right. Yeah.
Because the hawk will be missing.
Yes, we can send the hawk.
Alright, cool. Good to know. So, with that sorted out, where are you guys going?
Go through
Sure,
this little thing that we've found.
Yeah, sure. I
Yes.
think because it's the choice between going up the mountain and trying to find an entrance and having an entrance in front of us.
Well, I'm going off the logic of that's where they came from, and we've already killed everything up top.
Yeah, true.
So this probably leads down to the bottom bit where we need to be.
Yeah, sure. Does descend?
Alright, so Lucifer or Reaver uses their crystal to kind of activate the lift, and you kind of feel that kind of slight rushing sensation as you kind of like the floor kind of drops from underneath you briefly, but you kind of not fast enough for you to fall. It like rapidly descends. You don't know how long, but eventually it hits the bottom, and you find yourselves in. Let's have a look. Yes. So pretty much the only lighting down here in this room is kind of the like early daylight that filters down through the lift shaft. But you can dimly see, or in Barrow's case, you can actually see with your dark vision. There are where you are is kind of like a relatively small room, with several kind of like what's the word? Fuck me. Tombs, I think is probably the word.
What?
Like stone sarcophagi.
Yeah.
And you can see kind of like packed into like cases in the walls are a number of like bones and skulls, kind of catacomb style.
Okay, so we're in kind of like a crypt.
Yes. And on the opposite side of the room,
Or a dungeon in Skyrim.
on the opposite side of the room, Burial and Smick can see, and probably Reaver, despite the low light, you can just about make it a glimmer on the opposite side of the room. But you see kind of like about like maybe like 4 or 5 feet apart, these two kind of like indents in the wall that seem to like reflect the little light that's filtering in here.
We should go and investigate those.
Is anyone creating any light sources? Because otherwise,
I guess I'll
Lucifer and Burial and Reaver will be in the dark.
I shall light some fire and hold it above my wooden hands.
All right. Cool.
I have a plan to fix that. Just don't worry. Don't worry.
Cool. Worst comes to worst, you can always like find fucking 13th level cleric or some shit and ask them to cast regenerate, but you know that's gonna be a while away. But yeah, as you kind of go to investigate, you see these kind of probably like fist-sized indentations in the wall that have 4 facets, and yeah, they're kind of like inlaid with this kind of clear crystal, and seem to like have like metal and circuitry behind them. What do you guys do?
And any
So-
of my modules and apples, can any of them fit in?
Your one, no, I don't think
the
so.
crystal up.
Yeah, the crystal.
You hold the crystal up, and like, do you kind of like try and like see if it fits?
I'm just gonna hold it up near it.
Okay, so holding it up near it, you can see that like the indent and the crystal are about the same size.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, and kind of like Lucifer seeing you do kind of a similar thing, like pulls out his crystal and goes to the other side.
Okay.
Kind of shrugs and then like sticks it into the wall.
Okay, I'll stick one in then.
Yeah, so as you kind of both plug in the crystals, you see kind of like a seam, like a roughly door shaped. This kind of pink light as the crystals surge, and the stone of the wall kind of slowly kind of like warps and melts away. You kind of hear this kind of like strange kind of like it kind of like vaguely sounds liquid, but it's also kind of like the sound of grinding stone at the same time. But after you kind of like put the crystals in, this wall turns into an arch, like a doorway.
Alrighty.
And beyond it, you can see a large, darkened room.
Yes, we go in.
Okay.
All right. Do you take the crystals with you?
Yes.
Okay. The door does not close behind you, so that's the thing. You have the crystals with you still. So yeah, as you kind of step in, you see kind of like a large globe of light flickers into life about 20 feet above you. Yeah, you kind of step into this kind of large amphitheater. This kind of probably about like 50 feet across. This large room with a balcony above it that kind of wraps around half the room, and you can see kind of like along these 2 balconies that across either side of the room. There's a kind of a bridge of kind of you can just vaguely see with the through the lights above you this kind of shimmering invisible walkway. And in the center of the room, you can see where is it? Yes, you can kind of see this like this was what you now recognize as a warp pad, surrounded by 8
what?
kind of spikes that come out of the ground that form a like scintillating blue field around it.
Seeing the
And
warp
on the
pad,
ground floor,
Weaver's gonna
either side of you, you
stealth.
can see the floor is flanked with these kind of 2 walkways that kind of have like these arches that allow you to see, and then either side of the warp pad in the middle there is kind of entryways in. You can see in the corridors are several racks that have weapons and armaments on them, and kind of noticing that you look across the floor, you can see kind of like scorch marks and like places where like splatters of blood, like arrowheads embedded in the floor. You think this place has definitely been used, definitely been fought in before. And as you kind of like step in and stand there for a bit, give me a second. Yeah. So as you kind of step kind of closer into the room, the kind of large, previously white luminous orb set into the ceiling starts to flash red, and you hear what is clearly an alarm going off.
Oh goody!
Yay!
Can we run back out the door and shut it?
Oh, we got to press forwards.
Yes, we
Uh,
are.
Move.
Okay, well I'm going to take Smick with me and hide. You know, stealth.
Okay, where are you
quiet.
hiding?
Hmm?
Where are you hiding?
In the shadows. Anywhere.
This room is pretty well lit. You could probably get like into one of the walkways either side, like vault over the kind of barrier.
I'm gonna do that then.
All right, make a stealth check.
Just anywhere that's not gonna be in someone's line of sight as soon as they come into the room.
Okay. Well, as
Oops.
you we'll deal with that in a second, I guess.
Is there any cover by the door, or do I have to go outside the door and sort of hide by the side?
I mean, you could try and hide behind like the warp pad thing if you wanted to. Like the
How close is
shield
that?
spikes go about like 5 foot tall, and it's about 10 foot wide.
How close is that?
It's in the middle of the room, so that's probably about like 25 feet away from you.
I'm stay by the door.
All right. So as kind of these alarms ring out, you see kind of like at the far end of either walkway, you see doors open, and stepping out are these 2 humanoid figures, kind of corvid looking in their features, that kind of enter the walkways, march up to the racks of weapons and armor. You see one kind of in crimson robes with a what is he wearing actually? Give me a second, I've got to find where I wrote this down. Okay. He is wearing, yeah, see kind of like this like crimson robes with you can see the black chainmail like covering most of his weapons. He's holding a he kind of picks a longsword and a shield off of the rack as he walks past and enters the main floor. And on Reva's side, there is a figure in purple robes that kind of already wearing a breastplate. And as they step in, seemingly unarmed, they kind of reach out their hand, and you can see kind of this kind of scintillating dark purple light emanates from the hand, and a sword appears as they grasp it. And they kind of like, both the figures kind of like look at each other, nod, and turn to the rest of you. I would like you to roll initiative.
We're gonna get our butts kicked. Do they look mechanical in nature?
They look like Kenku, but they're relatively tall. From
Aarakocra?
Kenku.
Okay.
They don't like the main telltale difference between Kenku and Aarakocra is that Aarakocra have wings and arms separated. Kenku just have arms.
Okay.
Um,
We need alarms.
James, is your most recent roll was that initiative?
Yeah, 9.
Okay, so you got a 9 and 8. Tom, you got like a +6 to initiative nowadays.
Tom,
Yes.
roll initiative.
Yeah.
It's initiative, my dude.
Yep. Sorry, my Discord cut out for a sec.
It's Wednesday, my dude.
Right, let's have a look then. What is my initiative?
Where's that version of the fucking
Okay, my
It's-
initiative is 19.
19?
Actually,
Okay.
Wednesday, for anyone wondering.
It's not Wednesday, it's Monday.
Exactly.
Alright, cool. Man, some of this would be more interesting if Lucifer was here because he'd be able to. There's some interesting stuff he'd be able to tell you. Anyway, okay, so I need to get up my
He
initiative
is here,
tracker.
so you, as him, could tell us.
I could do it. It's not relevant just yet, but
Okay.
there's a thing that
There is always a thing.
there is always a thing. Otherwise, it wouldn't be interesting, would it?
Yeah.
Give me a second. Got to fucking roll initiative for these boyos as well. By the way, Steph, Smick goes on your turn as well.
Nope.
Hashtag remember Smick.
I've also got to roll initiative for 2 other people. Okay. So, wow, what the fuck? Why has everyone got so low initiative? Jesus Christ. With Crook being like the one exception.
It's a one thing which we consistently struggle to roll well with. in
You're
this
What
always
game.
surprised there's going to be a fight, no matter what happens. All right. So, what is this guy's bonus to initiative? It is +2. Okay, so he got a 5. And other dude, he got a +3. Okay, so he's 12. So Crook got a 19. Reaver, you got an 8. No, yeah. So and then Lucifer got. What did he get? Okay. Does anyone know what Lucifer's dex bonus is?
No.
No.
Let me check. +1. Okay, so you got a 15. And then I've got to roll for the other 2. Where's my fucking dice? Where the fuck is my dice? Oh, there it is. God. Well, that's good for that person, I guess. Alright. They have a +2. And oh, they didn't roll very well either. That's annoying. Okay, sure. All right, they've got a +2 as well. Okay, I'm gonna re-roll that because it's the same as someone else's initiative. Actually, I'll do roll off. Okay, cool. That works. I've got a bunch of fucking people in here that their first letter of their name is K for some reason. All right. So, Crook, you go first.
Right, so how many enemies are there?
Currently, you can only see 2. Also, I will bring up my version of the battle map because I've got a thing.
And one of them has just magicked a sword into existence.
One of them reached out and grasped, and as you can, looking at it now, you can see this kind of black saber with kind of lines of pink energy roll like that line the blade.
That sounds rather cool. Right, okay. Unfortunately, I don't think it's something I can nick, can I? Because it's magic. This is a great shame. Right, okay. So I'm going to go for him
you can
first.
nick weapons.
Well, as I could, you know, like I didn't really stolen any weapons. We forged that sword. But anyway, I'm going to go and hit this guy.
Technically, I did
But then-
steal a rocket launcher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did do
Yeah.
that, to be fair. All right, I'm going to go and hit this guy then. I'm going to rage, obviously. So,
Alright.
right then. First attack, I'm going to reckless attack, usual. Okay, first one.
So to be clear, you're attacking the guy with the purple robes and the magic sword.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Right.
Who's gonna
First
attack
one,
him?
I rolled a 15. Second
Alright,
one,
15 is a miss.
and the second one, I rolled an 18.
18 hits.
Right, okay. Damage then. Right, the first d6 is 2. Second d6 is a 5. 7 plus 1, 8. Then the plus 6, 14. Then the d4. I got 2. That'll be 16 damage, I think. Yeah,
16 damage. Nice.
16 damage. I don't know. I just so I did 2d6 plus 1 plus d4 plus 2 plus 4. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Has that hurt him much?
It seems he kind of like grimaces, but he doesn't seem to be he's not unaffected by it, but he's not kind of like not grievously wounded.
Yeah, I want the best really. That, to be honest, I want to do better. Right then. Yeah, that's me done then for the turn.
Cool. In that case, it's Lucifer's turn, and I don't know what he picked at 4th level, so I'm just going to go with my approximation of what he might have picked. Luckily, I've actually got a sheet for him, so I think he's probably going to what spells has he got? Very few of them are actually like ranged.
Lightning Law.
Lightning Law gets them close to him though.
It's not always a good idea, is it?
I would use that spell, but I feel like if Lucifer's going to use that spell, Luke has to cast it. Because it's like, yeah. Sorry,
Use it in very weird ways.
Well, the thing is, like, there's a spell that like he hasn't been able to take for a while because you guys have been level 3 for a few sessions. But I mentioned to him, oh, by the way, Crown of Madness is a spell. And he was very excited by the prospects of that, so I'm not going to take it away from him by having the first instance of that be me doing it instead of him. So we'll keep that in the back pocket for a little while. I think he's just going to go. What is that? That's an action to cast. Okay, and that's also an action. That's a pain in the ass. Give me a second. I'm just going to figure out what he's going to do. He's got the Sonic Resonator, so he could do that. Yeah, that will work. Yeah, so seeing kind of group rush up to the purple guy, Lucifer is going to run up to the Kenku in Crimson, and I think he's going to use Primal Savagery. He's going to try and you watch as he kind of like brings back his hand, and you see his fingernails kind of like elongate into these kind of claws that drip with acid, and he's going to make an attack against the dude, which I think is going to hit because he rolled 17 plus 6. Yeah, okay. Which definitely hits, and that deals d10 acid damage. Fucking hell! Of course it's 1. So yeah, you see kind of Lucifer kind of like run up, like screaming, and like kind of like swipes at the guy in Crimson. You see kind of like he mostly dodges out the way, but one of the droplets of acid kind of like streaks past and kind of like starts pitting kind of like the flesh in its face as it kind of winces, but doesn't seem to be particularly affected. Lucifer doesn't really have any bonus actions he can use. So that is on to the next guy's turn. Okay. So the dude in purple kind of sneers at you, Krook, and then is going to do some interesting stuff. Let me check his abilities first, because this could affect how this works. Okay, so that would be 4. I did all the calculations for like what this would be last week, but oh, this is annoying. Okay. Oh shit! Actually, oh my god. Okay, I forgot about that. Yeah. All right. Well, he's gonna go Nova. So he's gonna make an attack roll against you, Krook. I
Right.
think twice because he's got extra attack. So that is so one is a what's 2 hit on that one? Da-da-da. So that is a that's gonna hit. That's like a 17 plus 7. And the other one
Jesus.
is a 21 to hit.
Yeah.
I'm guessing both
Definitely
those
hit
hit.
me.
Okay, so on the first attack, sorry, there's a guy on a motorbike outside my house. Keeps going up and down the road. I'm gonna close the windows real quick. Okay, so he kind of, you see him kind of like raise the sword up as the wicked blade kind of like is wreathed with kind of initially like green fire licks up the blade, followed by a kind of pink, purple eldritch light.
It's always pink.
Yeah, that's the color palette for these guys. And then also you see kind of this searing kind of bluish white radiance wreath the blade as well as he cleaves down. So that is okay. So I've got to get I'm gonna have to get a calculator for this real quick because this is quite a lot of dice, and there's no one in 5 feet, so they won't take the extra stuff. Okay. He's using it two-handed, so it's a D10. Yeah, he won't be able to curse you this turn, so he won't get the extra damage from that. But we've got some other stuff. Okay. And then, ooh, dropping dice. I think. Oh, is it a longsword or is it a greatsword? Let's have a look. It is a longsword, okay. You're fine. So I'm going to roll the longsword damage by itself because that's going to be halved. I'm assuming you're raging.
Yes, Sam.
Alright, so. Is that all the damage? No, I've got an extra dice. Okay. I think that's all of it. Yes, okay. So. You take. And this is really annoying. Awkward doesn't work this out correctly. Well, not awkward, sorry. This thing isn't working out correctly for me. So. Alright, so that is 6 damage half to 3. And then I would like you to make a saving throw, which I think is, I want to say Constitution. As you are hit by a whole bunch of energy. That is. Oh, there isn't a saving throw, okay. You just. Alright. Roll damage. Actually, that was surprisingly low, so you might be okay. Give me a second. Sorry, I'm rolling a lot of dice here. This was a mistake to build this kind of thing. All right, so okay, and then all right, so give me a second. All right, you take 37 points of damage.
Jesus.
That is severely below average.
But that's below average.
It's a lot of dice, man. He's rolling like 7 dice or more. Some of that is force damage. You are knocked prone, so you're aware. As you this kind of immense force kind of blasts you into the ground. You see this kind of like sickly kind of white light kind of like emanates from the wound that was dealt. Actually, does that have a save on it? That's a good point. Yeah. So let me check. Because he's got a special sword. Yeah. Okay. So he wounds you as well. All right. So yeah. So some of it's radiant, some of it's force, some of it's fire. As you kind of watch this tirade of energy slam down on Krook, knocking him to the ground. And he's also going to attack a second time, which he hits because I rolled it beforehand. That's just going to deal regular damage, though, I think. So that is 12, half to 6. So you take an additional 6 damage.
Right, okay.
As he stabs you a second time on the ground. Alright, that's his turn. He's burned a bunch of resources to do that. It is now.
I mean, it's a good thing that I got maximum on my hit dice. Otherwise, I would have, on average, I think I would already be down, or very close, very
possibly,
close
yeah.
to.
So yeah, Burial, it's your turn.
Right. I am going to throw some spells at the one that's attacking.
Alright.
So, start off simple. Going to start with a chromatic orb.
Okay.
Right. Just whilst you're doing that, I'm just to go to the toilet quick. So just I'll be a minute.
Oh no, I rolled exactly average damage. Okay. Yeah. So 37 is the average damage on that attack.
12.
Right. So 12 misses. Unfortunately.
Damn it.
Got any bonus actions?
No, that's it.
Okay. In that case, Reaver, it is your and Smick's turns.
Okay. Ouch. Well, I'm going to shoot the one with Thrasma. Shoot
Alright.
the one that did that horrible thing.
Alright.
Oh, come on. +5 or is it +4 still? +5, isn't it?
Yeah.
19.
19 hits.
Hang on. Just itching my ear. There we go. We roll 1d12 plus a piece of paper. +4. Yeah. Oops. Yay!
Nice.
16.
Nice. That is a good hit. So that is on the Shadow Crucible Knight. Okay.
Right, it's back.
Welcome back.
Cool. He is looking pretty badly wounded at the moment. Are you going to use bonus action to pull it back?
Yes.
Alright. Roll damage.
Plus one, yeah, plus one. Is it plus one?
Yes. 3. Nice.
And then
Okay.
Sneaky Boy will do his thing.
Okay, so before you go on with that, real quick, I'd like you to make a dexterity saving throw as from the bullet wound, as the kind of bullet returns to you, so does a gout of purple flame. So let me know what you get on that,
What is it? Dexterity.
as you are rebuked hellishly.
16.
16,
I
I
got max
think is
again.
yeah. So you take half damage on this.
Okay.
Which is okay, so you take 11 damage, which is already halved. As the flames from the wound kind of like attempt to kind of like incinerate you, but you dodge out the way at the last second, taking half damage. All right, what is Smick doing?
I lost my pen. Oh, there's my pen. What was 11? Did you say?
Yeah, you take 11 damage.
He's gonna fire. I don't fucking know what weapon he has. He has a bow.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I assume he'll fire an arrow. +6, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Whoopsie.
13 misses though, unfortunately.
I'd add 6 onto that because I didn't have the 6.
Oh, 19 hits.
Okay. My finger caught the bloody enter key. 1d8 plus 2. Good boy.
Nice. Wow, this guy's looking real wounded. He is he's on his last legs already. You guys are a bit fucking tight on this guy.
He did a big attack. He's the biggest threat.
Yeah. All right.
Nick has
Cool.
advantage
So
on attack rolls against a creature if at least one of his eyes. Okay.
yes.
Yeah, that's the thing that I have in it as well. But different, called something different.
Well, no, you get sneak attack, which means that you get if there's someone next to the person that you're attacking, you can sneak attack them. Smick just has he gets advantage if someone's next to them,
Right, okay.
which would give you sneak attack if you were the one who got advantage, but you're not. So remember your abilities.
On his turn,
so-
he can cower pathetically to distract them.
Ah.
He can do, yes.
His allies gain
That is-
advantage on attack rolls against enemies within 10 feet of Smeg that he can see.
Yep.
Aww.
Yeah, basically like kobolds are like pretty kind of like meek usually, so they can use that to their advantage to distract people. Alright, so with that, it is the Crimson Justicar's turn, who is the person that Lucifer did 1 damage to that one time. So he's going to. Okay, he's going to use his Sonic talent. What is that? I think he's going to use the Telekinetic Strike. Okay. Yeah, he's going to try and stab Lucifer because he's right in front of him. Which I don't think is going to hit, but he's got 2 attacks. That's fine. So +6 to hit, so that is 13. What is fucking Lucifer's AC? Lucifer's AC is 12. Okay, that hits anyway. Sure. Christ, I've got 3 things on the same page. I'm just scroll back up and down. Okay, so Telekinetic Strike. All right, so that's Sonic Taunt die. That is the damage die. Okay, so Lucifer takes some damage, which is okay. He takes 13 damage. He got stabbed. So yeah, you see the kind of this Crimson Knight take his sword and plunge it into Lucifer, who should have max hit points now. What is? Fuck me. I'm doing a lot of fucking calculations over here. This is not. This is okay. So yeah, Lucifer is pretty badly wounded by that. He's not half health yet, but he's close. As you watch as the first attack is kind of wreathed in this kind of shimmering psionic energy, and then the second attack is definitely going to hit. That's just a regular one. So that deals 7 plus, which is 12. Oof. Okay, Lucifer's looking a lot more worse for wear now. So the second attack kind of again cleaves and like Lucifer kind of like drops to one knee in pain. That is the end of its turn, and at the start of the round, some interesting things happen. So, yeah, so you kind of watch as alright, fuck me, I should have organised this better.
That warp pad better not activate.
So, got to that bit, yep. Yes, so you see these kind of in 6 places around the room. You see kind of like 2 spikes come out the floor, and then between them, a shimmering wall of force appears, providing cover. Which is that should happen round 1 actually. I'm done. Round 2. Okay, yeah. So next to either side of the fuck, what are they called? Yeah. So either side of the warp pad, you see 2 kind of turrets rise out the floor.
Oh crap!
And aim at you guys. Man, this was supposed to be more structured, but I've kind of fucked up my minutes. Okay, and they are going to fire at probably, given that these 2 haven't attacked yet. Well, they have attacked, but they haven't hit yet. So one's going to fire at Burial, one's going to fire at Reaver. Reaver will get cover from this. I'm going to say Burial's near the door, so she also gets cover because she's behind one of the barriers anyway. So, you guys get +2 to your dex saves.
Okay, so I am on 16.
16 is a pass. So you take half damage.
Do you mean +2 to our armor class?
It's dex saves and AC with cover.
Okay, so yeah, armor class is 16.
Yeah.
You're making a dex save.
Okay, I'll make a dex save.
And so is Reaver. Thankfully, though, you guys are both like hiding behind things. So
15.
Okay.
24.
So is that 15, James?
13. No, just 13.
Okay, is that including the +2?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so you're going to get hit full force for this. Reaver kind of like does a small backflip out of the way. Alright, it's not much damage. So Burial takes 5 points of force damage as one of these turrets kind of pops up the floor and fires a lance of energy at you. Reaver, you kind of manage to mostly dodge it, taking only 2 damage.
Okay.
Alright. And yeah, so sounds of battle kind of ring out from the doorways on the balconies above. And you kind of see kind of like this preceding a horde of kind of Dirks and cultists. You see this kind of figure is pushed out onto the shimmering walkway, wielding a glaive, which you see is kind of alight with this kind of astral fire. You can see they are kind of well muscled, like in like loose sleeveless robes, with kind of these walking boots fastened and kind of tucked into their clothes. And they're kind of whirling around as they kind of like try and desperately fight off the horde of enemies above. Like runic tattoos glowing on their skin. And on the other side of the platform, you also watch a familiar figure kind of shunt into existence with after images trailing in blue, purple, and magenta as she slides through, wielding a blade of shimmering light, which you remember. You've met this person before. This is the Guardian. On the opposite, forced back on the opposite side of the bridge, you watch as she kind of ducks and then deflects several volleys of rifle fire coming from the doorway on the opposite side of the room. So above you, there's kind of this battle overhead with these two people fighting off a number of cultists and dirks, whilst you guys are dueling the two knights below you.
Cool.
So yeah. All right. With that, we are back to the top of initiative, which is Krook.
Right, nice. Right, so are both of the guys wounded then now?
They are. They're both pretty wounded. Also, hang on. This is the start of your turn, isn't it? So, I'm going to need you to make. So you're going to take some damage because the wound that this guy dealt to you doesn't seem to be a natural wound. It kind of bleeds even after, like more aggressively than it would usually. So, yeah, at the start of each of the wounded creature's turns, it takes 1d4 necrotic damage for each time you wound it. Okay, so Krook, you take 2 damage, and
Okay.
I'd like to make a DC 15 Constitution saving throw.
Sure. Okay, 17.
Okay, yeah. So like, you manage to kind of like you kind of brace yourself against the kind of wounding magic, and you manage to shake off the effect. You are no longer wounded in that way.
Yeah, I just realised I didn't use my stone skin against that 37 damage. That was probably pretty stupid.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you guys to remember your abilities, man. Like,
Yeah, I know. I'm normally quite good at remembering it, but cock.
Yeah.
I'll remember it when I'm about to die, probably.
yeah. So you're on the floor currently. This dude standing over you.
Right. Can I get up and hit him?
You can.
I'm gonna do just that then. Okay. Right. So first one. Okay, my first hit roll is an unnatural 20.
That'll hit.
The second one is an 8. So
8 will miss.
okay, right. So damage then. Right. First d6, a 5. Second, a 2 again. For God's sake, 7, 8, 14, and the d4. A 1. That's 15 damage. Is he dead?
He's just barely hanging on to life.
Okay, I'm going to spend a charge on my extra damage then, with my blade.
All right.
So first d4, a 4. Second one, a 4 again. So an additional 8 damage.
Nice. Okay. Does he have abilities? What? Okay. That's his last spell slot. Yeah. So he uses you kind of see like as the kind of searing light kind of cuts into him, you can see this kind of warding flare around him. He still takes most of the damage, but it is somewhat reduced. He's still grievously wounded though.
Can I like spend another charge in the same turn, or is it only once per turn?
It's once per turn.
Shit.
Basically, when you hit, you can spend a charge to do essentially the smite. Otherwise, it'd be insane. You could do like fucking like 7 damage dice with just a magic sword. This guy can do that because he's spec'd into a lot of things.
Right.
Getting overexcited
This guy
again.
is a threat, so just to be safe, I'm gonna frenzy. So
All right.
another attack then.
This poor guy.
First hit rolls a 24. The
Rah.
second one
Why are you eating
is
my
a
hair?
12.
Rah. Rah.
Hang on a
Stop
sec.
eating my hair.
Didn't you already make 2 attacks?
Stop it.
No, I was reckless attacking.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Wow.
So I got a 24 then.
That hits.
Right. Damage again. First d6, a 1. Oh, for God's sake. Snake eyes again like last time. Second one is a 5, 6. It's plus 1, 7. And then 7, 13. And the d4, a 1. So only 14 damage.
Okay, he's still not
Pretty
dead.
poor. Oh, for God's sake. It's pretty poor, actually. Yeah, that's all I can do for the turn.
Yeah,
I was hoping to kill him.
The kind of like warding light that seems to surround him kind of takes the brunt of the force of your attack. All right.
I just tried to eat
So-
my ponytail.
After that, it's Lucifer's turn. Lucifer is pretty fucking badly wounded. So I think he's probably going to try and force push this dude away from him so he doesn't fucking die. Which is, what's the save on that? Saves DC is okay. It's only 13. All right. So he's going to attempt to distance this motherfucker. He's going to make a saving throw, which he fails. So you watch as Lucifer kind of like reaches out with the sonic resonator on his hand, and a pulse of energy throws the Crimson Justicar across the room as they hit against a wall. And that is Lucifer's action or bonus action? As an action, okay. As a bonus action, he's going to attempt to flay him. So he's going to make another saving throw. However, yeah, he's going to angle this so it doesn't hit you guys because he can't really get anyone else without fucking that up. So that guy, what is his intelligence modifier? Da-da-da-da. Okay, he saves against that, so he's still going to take half damage. But so let's put 1 charge on that. He's still got 7 charges left. So I think he's going to burn a bunch more charges. Yeah, he's going to burn 4 charges, so that is 2d6. That is a 7, which is halved to 3. That's a shame. Okay, so yeah, you watch this kind of Lucifer kind of like after pushing out, kind of like twists his hand into like a fist, and you watch as kind of glowing sonic energy blasts out from it as the Crimson Justicar clutches its head in pain, but seems relatively unfazed, unfortunately. He isn't taking much damage. Alright, that's Lucifer's turn. I think Lucifer is going to run back and hide behind one of the barriers as well. And now is the dude that Lucifer, not Lucifer, sorry, the guy that Krook is fighting, who has advantage on his attack rolls because Krook reckless. And yeah, the first one of these is going to be with Green Flame Blade. He's going to bonus action curse you as well. So that is what bonuses we get from that. Okay, expose curse. Yep. Alright. Alright, good to know. So that is a 14 to hit on the first attack.
That fails.
Alright, and a 24 to hit on the second attack.
Certainly does hit.
Alright, so he's going to wound you on this one. Alright, and I don't think anyone, there's still no one within 5 feet of you, thankfully. So, what's going to deal? Alright, so that is, you take 4 slashing damage, which is already halved, and you take an additional, you take an additional 11 fire damage.
Okay, I'm going to have to skin. Okay. Right then, so it's a d12 plus my constitution modifier, isn't it? stone skin.
Yeah.
I think. Right.
Oh fuck! Of course,
So-
he fucking. Sorry, I've got to reroll one of the attack rolls because he got advantage. Okay, he does hit with that one. Yeah. All right. So your stone skin against the first one, which is the more damaging one.
Okay, so 50 in total, isn't it?
Sorry, what was that?
Is it 15 damage total?
It was something like that. Yeah. Because it was. It was 11 damage plus 4. Yes, so that would be 15 damage.
Okay, I by don't take anything.
Okay, cool. The
Just about.
second attack deals. All right, give me a sec. Not good with numbers today. Second attack deals 8 damage, which is already halved as well.
Yeah, that's enough to take me out. I'm down.
Okay. So. All right, yeah. In that case, yeah, that's the end of it. That guy's turn. Burial, it's your turn. You just watched this guy stab Crew to death.
That's not good. Should probably do something about that. Shouldn't
No.
I?
Yeah, basically, like you've seen these two guys like just swinging in with these enormous kind of like high-powered like smites, and then yeah, eventually Crew collapses to the ground.
Are they wearing armor?
Yes, they are.
I'm going to cast one that just killed Crook. I'm going to cast heat metal on him using my band of fire control.
Nice.
I just need to bring that up. I don't actually have that. Control.
Okay.
As an action, you spend 4 cut charges. That's fine. Deal either heat metal. Both with a save spell DC of 14.
Yeah.
Please make
Heat metal, like he's gonna make it. Are you doing it on his armor? I'm assuming you're making it on his armor. Okay, cool. You're burning his breastplate. Okay. So he doesn't get to make a save against that because he's already wearing it. So what is the damage on heat metal?
It is
Hopefully enough to kill him.
38. I'll roll that.
Just so you know, you can bring up the spell like that.
Okay. 2d8. Yes.
Oof. Okay, yeah. He kind of like, he like, you can see kind of like smoke starts to rise up from like his clothing as he kind of like turns around confused, and they kind of like hear him like wince in pain. He is real low, but he's not quite dead yet.
Okay. And the band also has an effect. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, so you're gonna take. Crook just left. Fucking Tom just left. Sorry. Where are they, Tom? Hello.
Tom?
Critical hit.
Nice.
That's
Jesus.
1d4 plus 2 halved.
Yeah, so you're gonna you take half damage because, and you can also gain some extra stuff from that I think as well.
Damage.
Yeah, so you take 2 damage and
Roll an extra 1d. Yeah, I'm going to choose to do extra 1d6 of cold damage for my next attack.
yeah. So basically, yeah, the only condition on that is that you can't deal fire damage with that attack.
But that's fine. I can do.
Yeah.
I like doing it. I can do it.
Yeah. All right. So I'm guessing that's the end of your turn.
Yes, I can't do it. Actually, does that count as using magic?
It's using an item, so
Yeah, it's using an action.
It takes an action to use, but Yeah, if you've got a bonus action spell, you could do that, and it wouldn't like conflict.
The only one I've got is Dragon's Breath, so I am not going near them. Let's put it
Well,
like that.
Dragon's Breath is 15 feet, so the only issue you'd have is that like typically when your AOE's contain your friends, so.
I won't bother. I won't try with that.
All right. So Reaver and Smeek, or Smick, sorry. Smeek's a different character. Death.
Oh yeah.
It's your turn.
I don't know. Can I use flare on both of them?
Yes. That is a 60-foot cone though, and Kruka's on the floor, and so is Lucifer. Well, no, Lucifer actually, yeah, Lucifer's out of the way. He pushed him back for you, so you can get the you can get the Knight of the Shadow Crucible, but you will also get Kruk, and you can also get the other guy as well. But basically, Kruk will take one failed death save if you use this.
Thanks.
Well, it's either that or they both have too much health.
Yeah, I mean, also like this guy could also just like hit Kruk on the ground as well. So like, which would be two failed death saves. You don't know if he's going to do that, but it's a possibility.
Can I do my 2 charges on the one that's not near Kruk?
You can do, yeah.
I'll do that then.
So he makes an intelligence saving throw.
Yes.
He succeeds. So he takes half damage, I think.
Yeah. Come on, keyboard.
Yeah, Flayer's like the funny thing is about like the oh shit, nice. So he still takes some damage because you roll pretty high on that. So yeah, he's gonna take 4 damage. This guy's been mostly unwounded so far, but he's annoyed that people keep like psychically attacking him because he thinks that's his thing. So yeah.
And I'm gonna point at Smick to hit the other one that is near Kruk.
All right. Attack roll. 17 hits.
Yay!
5 damage kills. So, yeah, you watch as Smick kind of like turns around, kind of dead eye, and fucking nails this guy in the back of the neck as he collapses to the ground.
Alright.
Yay! That's 2 kills on 2 big guys Smick's got now.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go back into cover.
All right. It is now the Crimson Justcar's turn, who is pissed off with Lucifer. To be perfectly honest, he's like, "Dude, what the fuck? Why you be doing this to me?"
Psionics is my thing. Stop
He's going to
it.
probably, yeah, I think he's going to use his Force Sleep. All right, so okay, yeah, he's gonna. Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one. So he's going to extend distance jump up to a number equal to your twice the number roll plus your okay. So he's gonna make a long jump.
Oh, good God.
Which is 5 plus 3 doubles. That's 16 extra feet plus 17. Yeah. So you watch as this guy kind of like kicks off the wall and does a flying leap towards Lucifer. And yeah, he's gonna try and stab him again. Luckily, that didn't decrement at all. So, all right. Yeah, he's gonna attempt to attack Lucifer twice. I think they both hit actually, because fucking he's got such low AC. What the fuck, Lucifer? Okay. So one of them is gonna have extra damage dice on it because it's right. Okay, that's fine then. So that is 4 plus a little bit. So 7 damage on the first one, which is enough to take. Okay, so you watch as like after Lucifer kind of like blasted him back, this guy kind of like force jumps towards him and does coming down from the sky basically with his sword, like cleaves through Lucifer, knocking him to the ground unconscious.
Hell, this is going amazing.
Well, currently you've got 2 people unconscious. They've got 1, so swings and roundabouts. All right, at the top of the round, some stuff happens. So you watch as on the floor, you see 4 of like these kind of like large floor tiles, kind of are replaced as they kind of like slide out the way, and then rising up from them are warp pads all in the room.
What's happening?
Warp pads.
Great.
Yeah, and overhead, you can hear the 2 people fighting on the bridge, kind of talk back and forth as they're fighting. The guy at the glaive kind of asks the Guardian, "Who in the 9 hells are you?" To which she responds, "Someone who finds these cultists a real pain in the ass." "Oh, you too. Name's Kaya, by the way. Good to meet you." And you. And they swap positions. It is now Krook's turn. Make a death save, my dude.
Hold on, what did the guy say his name was?
Kainir. Also, someone's at the door. Give me a second.
I got an 11 anyway, so
You
that's
succeeded.
a success.
Well, not dying yet.
Right,
And
so
the guy you were fighting isn't killing you, so...
that's
Hey.
nice of him.
Well, he's dead, so...
Yeah, something
Yeah,
held him in the back of the neck.
it was nice of him. I'm glad he's dead.
Nice. Alright, so... with that, it is Lucifer's turn, who also has to make a fucking death save. Good fucking job. He's also the one with Spare the Dying. What the fuck? He rolled nat 20 though, so he's back up at 1 hit point. That is pretty fucking lucky. So yeah, you guys watch as like Lucifer kind of like he says he hits the ground, he's like like gets up at the end. Like, he's not standing at the end of his turn, but yeah. The night dude's dead. Burial, it's your turn.
Still one guy standing, right?
There is still one guy standing. He doesn't seem to be that wounded.
What about those 2 turrets?
Oh, that's a good point. They should have fired at the end of the turn.
Oh god.
Okay, so
Sorry.
currently there's only 3 of you still up because there's Smick, Reaver, and Burial. Actually, yeah, Lucifer's unconscious. They wouldn't have found that at the start of the turn. So, we'll do a D6. So 1, 2 is Burial, 3, 4 Reaver, 5, 6 Smick. So 1 target Smick, another one is going to another one's going to target Reaver. Okay, so both turrets kind of like turn towards you and Smick, Reaver. I need both of you to make dex saves.
What?
Smick gets a +6 on his dex save, I think.
Okay.
Because dexterity is one of the saving throws.
Where the fuck is my sheet? There it is. Ah. How did I only have +4? And he has +6.
because your dexterity is real low. Well, it's okay, but like it's not amazing for a rogue.
Only does +6.
Yeah.
Mickey boy.
Smick dodges out the way. So Reaver, you're going to take 5 force damage. Smick takes 2.
And I've lost my pen again. Oh, there it is. Mick takes how much?
2.
Okay.
All right, it's your turns.
How much health does Mick have?
Oh, that's a good point actually. So
How does his
Smick
health work?
doesn't have health; he has health levels. So whenever he takes damage, he makes a saving throw, which is the DC of which is 10 plus what the average damage of the attack. So in this case, the average damage is 5. So he has to make a DC 15 saving throw.
Okay. How many health levels does he have?
3.
Okay.
So make a con save for him, which I think is just +3 for him. Oof. Okay, so he loses 1 health level.
Okay.
He now has 2 health levels. Alright, so yeah. It's your turn. What do you do?
Well, I assume I'm going to shoot the other one with plasma.
Alright. I think at the moment he has cover from the thing, but you should still attempt to shoot him.
What do I get? Do I get?
I'll factor into his AC. Don't worry.
Okay. I forgot what I was doing for a second there. Damn it! Oh, Tom's gone.
13 is a miss, unfortunately.
Tom's dropped out. And he's back.
Tom dead. Yeah, 13
No,
misses.
it's just that Discord on mobile is bad.
Mm-hmm.
And Sticky Boy is gonna use his arrow. He hits.
Yeah, he is.
Again, Smick.
Fucking being
That's a
carried by
D4 plus-
Smick today.
Yeah, I mean, like, retainers are like surprisingly like okay.
7.
Nice. That is the most damage anyone's done to him so far.
And we are going to move somewhere where we are fully in cover, because I do not want to be near those turrets anymore.
Yeah, I mean, but you can't get full cover from any of them because the room's not. The room is designed to be a battle arena. You're not supposed to be able to get full cover from anything. But
There's barriers
you
on
cannot.
there.
Where you are, you already have cover.
Oh.
So yeah. At the end of your turn, it is that dude's turn again. Who I'm gonna make a perception check to see if he notices whether Lucifer's back up again. He does notice. He steps over his body and starts marching towards you and Spick.
Oh god.
What stuff can you use? Alright, so yeah, he's gonna he marches up to you guys. He vaults over the cover you're behind, and he's gonna attempt to stab you. He brings in. I think he's gonna attack you twice, and then he's gonna shield bash Smick. So one is a natural 1. One is a 18 to hit you, Reaver, and a It's like 16 to hit Smick.
Oh, he just about hit Smick, and he hits me.
All right. So you're gonna take. He's gonna use his Sonic talent again. Wow, 2 ones. Okay. So that is 2 plus 3. And plus. Okay. Yeah. Right. So you take a whopping 5 damage.
Oh, I'm on
Reaper.
1.
Oh, okay. You rolled minimum damage. All right. And I'd smick to what's the shield bash? What does that damage do? So that okay. So shove. Okay, you can shove a creature. Yeah, he just shoves Smick backwards 5 feet.
It doesn't damage him.
No.
Right.
Isn't Smick in your backpack though?
No, he was out on the floor.
I'm gonna say to shoot stuff, he has to have like
Yeah, he's just
arm
like
space.
next to me. Like
Right.
further side, further
So
down.
that's the end of that guy's turn. After him is back up the top initiative. At which point, yeah, so nothing extra special happens. The turret's gonna fire again, but before then, we get a little bit more conversation with the guys on the bridge.
We should probably, shout to them to see if they can hear us.
A little bit
Yeah,
busy.
The Guardian kind of asks, "How'd you get down here?" And he kind of like between kind of glaive sweeps and dodges.
Well, they seem
Says,
to be fine.
It was somewhat of a crash landing.
Oh,
That happened a
shit.
lot, more than you'd expect. You fight this kind of thing often? Far too often for my liking. Isn't that always the way? Tell me about it. That is the snippet of conversation you get for this round. And the turrets are going to fire again at probably one at Burial. I think they're both fire at Burial, because she's the only person that's like not likely to get
God.
hit by someone else. You are behind cover, so you get a +2 bonus to your dex saves on top of whatever you got usually. So make 2 of them.
Dex saves.
Yes.
1d20 plus 3. I'm including the bonus I think I've got from. So 19
19's a pass.
and 8.
8's a fail. Okay. So you take 9 force damage from both hits.
Okay.
As they kind of lance out towards you. Krook, make another death save.
Brooke.
Rook.
Tom.
Yes, it disconnected again for like the 20th time.
Death save.
Yes. A fail. I got a 4.
Okay. So you're 1 for 1.
So,
Alright. It is now Lucifer's turn, who is going to get up. He is going to. What's he got that would be useful at the moment? Damn. He's so fucking low on health. Okay, so. Spiels. He's not actually using any warlock spells yet, so he could do that.
Do the arm one. While he's next to you.
Arms of Dark. Well, no, he's over the guy that,
Oh, no, he's near
that
me
Lucifer. Yeah, he's next to you guys. Yeah, it's an area of effect, so he would very likely get you guys. You'd all have cover as well, so it's not like the most useful thing at the moment. You could use Dissonant Whispers or Mind Spike. That wouldn't be bad. Be knocking on the door again. Hello. I'm being offered Pringles, guys.
I had a roast cake earlier, so I brought them up because I wanted to play late.
I know.
But I forgot to bring them up earlier, so.
Alright, so Lucifer is going to. Actually, you know, I think he might amplify, and he's going to go next turn.
Amplify. What does that do again?
Yeah. So you watch as kind of like his hands and his weapons are wreathed in this shining psionic energy as the sonic resonator on his hand glimmers. All right. Yeah, so he's gonna do that for now. All right. He's also he's gonna move up, but he's gonna hide behind cover, so he can't be shot by. Well, he's gonna have cover against the shooty boys. With that, okay, dead. Burial, it's your turn.
Okay. I am going to cast Scorching Ray.
Okay.
I'm going to shoot one at the one attacking Reaver, and the other two I'm going to split between the turrets.
Okay. So what is that? Dex save or attack roll?
It's a ranged spell attack. So
Okay.
let's do attacking guy first. 15.
15 is a miss. Unfortunately.
Crit. Number 1, I guess. 12.
12 is unfortunately also a miss.
Damn it,
Can I see the
Burial.
rate kind of like blast up against the kind of like the metal chassis, but doesn't seem to like hit it directly head on.
And sorry, I guess.
Well, you can attack the
15.
other one. 15 is a hit.
Right. For damage, that is 2d6. Yes, 12 full damage.
Nice. So you watch as this thing kind of, after it kind of fired at you, you kind of reach out, one of the rays blasts through the head of the turret, melting the barrel, as it kind of just like slags off in a glowing heap.
Thank you.
Alright. Bonus action movement?
Move into cover. Full
Alright.
cover.
Sure. Alright, so Reaver, it's your turn. There's a dude in front of you.
Stab it with my rapier.
Alright.
That hits.
Nice.
That does hit, yeah.
Max damage as well.
8 damage.
Oh no.
Nice.
Well, I rolled the 1d8.
Alright. He is definitely wounded. Unfortunately, Smick got pushed back a little bit, so you won't get sneak attack.
No boy.
Actually, if you move Smick up first, you can get sneak attack. But if Smick attacks, he'll have disadvantage because he's got a ranged weapon.
Yes, I'm just gonna.
Actually, no, he won't because he's got pack tactics. So you can, if you move Smick up next to him, you can sneak attack this guy.
Cool. Yeah. I shall do that.
Which I think,
Ow.
which is like another 2d6 for you, I think.
Right. So how do I do this? So I just do the 2d6 now.
Yeah, just roll another 2d6.
Right. Okay. 2.
Yeah, if possible, you want to be able to do sneak attack every turn. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
but I
really
keep
good.
forgetting when I can do it.
Yeah, that's true. All right. 14 damage, nice. So yeah, with Smick distracting him, you're able to kind of like get through like the kind of the rings in his chainmail and kind of pierce into his chest. Smick will not have disadvantage on the attack roll, despite the fact he's attacking at mid range because he's got pack tactics.
Yay.
So he what?
Just straight roll.
15.
15 misses, unfortunately.
Aww. First time my baby boy's missed.
Yeah, this guy is looking worse for wear. He's not out just yet, but he's been pretty gruesomely stabbed up. However, it is now his turn. So, he's
Wait,
going to attempt.
can we move away from him?
You can do, but you'll provoke opportunity attacks.
Bonus action disengage.
You can, Smith can't, unfortunately.
He's 5 feet away. Would he still get it?
Well, if
oh
you
no,
want
he's moved
it
up.
to get,
He moved up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never mind.
I mean, you could move away, but you'd be leaving Smith there to get stabbed.
No.
All right. So, he is going to attempt to stab you twice.
Oh, come off it.
So, holy shit, he rolled 2 4s plus. Yeah, he rolled 2 10s. Holy shit.
He misses me.
Wow. That is super fucking lucky. Yeah, so he swings in twice, but you manage to dodge out of the way with your 1 hit point. Alright. That's his turn. So, with that, we're back up to the top of the round. The one singular turret is going to attempt to fire, probably still at Beryl, because the other guys are in the way. Beryl, you have +2 to the deck save again.
Yeah.
And it's only one of them this time.
Help me. Bye. 13.
13 is a fail, unfortunately. You take another 5 damage.
Friggin' exactly.
Yeah, these things are like, they don't do loads of damage, but they like tick you down each turn, so they're nasty. Yeah, so back on the bridge, kind of you see these kind of two like fighting desperately. Kind of points out to the Guardian on your right as like one of the kind of Dirks like runs up and tries to attack her. As she kind of like deftly swipes it out of the way. Got it. And he says, "Who did you say you were again?" To which she replies, "Folks around here call me the Guardian. My friends call me Dale." Well then, Dale, any idea how to shut those doors? Try throwing one of those javelins at the display panel over there. Got it. And you watch.
Oh
actually,
yeah,
that
she's
won't happen
friendly
this time.
with him.
Right. Well, you guys are kind of like, well, mainly because of crew, but to be perfectly honest. Speaking of which, death save, please.
Yeah, the next one. Right.
Did they say their name was Dale?
Yes.
Right.
That's what
we
you heard,
have another success.
Nice.
2 successes, 1 fail. On a
One more
15.
and you live.
Right.
All right. Lucifer on his turn, he's going to try and stab up the Crimson Justicar with, you see, like before, his fingernails elongate into claws that drip with acid. But this time they're also wreathed in sonic energy, and he's going to attempt to stab the fuck out of this dude, which is also +6. So fingers crossed. Eh? Holy shit, he definitely hits. So 17 +6.
Ooh.
Okay, so that is an extra 2d8 d10. Alright. Okay, so that is... wow. He does 15 damage. Holy shit. This guy's on like 2 hit points. Yeah, so you watch as... you watch as Lucifer kind of like sneaks up behind him, and then like claws in with this kind of like, you see this kind of debilitating sonic energy flash through and blast into the wound, which like as the kind of like the Red Knight like turns around, he kind of like drops to his knees in agony as Lucifer just fucking slashed the shit out of him. It's now Beryl, your turn.
Dum. I'm going to do magic missile. I'm going to send one of the darts at champion guy.
Alright.
The other 2 darts at the turret.
Okay, you really hate this fucking door. Alright,
It's
Uh,
killing me.
roll damage. Remember, each dart is +1.
So
It's 1d4
Or-
plus 1.
the guardian, not the guardian, the champion.
Yeah.
That's 3.
3, okay.
Kill him.
He does kill him, actually.
That's what I was going for.
Yeah, so you guys watch as kind of like, after Lucifer like stabs him in the back, you see another bolt of shining energy slam him to the ground as he bleeds out.
And then for the turret, that's 2 and 3, so 5 damage.
Alright. The turret is sparking, and seems to be like is like still kind of just about functioning, but is pretty damaged at this point.
Okay.
Reaver, it's your turn again.
I shall fire my bow at the turret.
Okay. I can't know myself out, Krug. Sure, make an attack roll.
What?
Krug's still unconscious.
Yes.
It's fine. Damn it.
7. Okay. Yeah, that misses.
The fucking turret, how can I miss it?
I mean, it's more that like your arrow probably like just kind of bounces off the metal casing around it.
And Nick is gonna try and shoot it too.
Right.
Of course he fucking hits it.
Snick
Nice.
the god.
All right, roll damage.
Fine.
5. Okay. Yeah, you fire in, and you kind of like his kind of like makeshift arrow sails in into the barrel, and as it tries to fire at you guys, you see it kind of like overload and then blow up as it's jammed with the arrow.
Well, why is Smick being like godlike at the minute?
He's just got
'Cause
good
he
bonuses
is.
in most things.
With his
So
fucking makeshift
Is
bow.
a god.
he's not very versatile, but he's reliable.
Clearly.
All right. So at the top of the round, all right. So yeah, so you watch as Dale and Kainir, Dale kind of like turns around and fires an energy bolt at the door panel at the same time that Kainir throws a shining, radiant javelin at the other one, which both thud into the crystal door panels as you watch the doors kind of like slowly close, and you see at least one duck get like crushed under the door. They're still fighting a few of the cultists on the bridge, but there's very few still there, as they are not able to replenish their forces by coming to the doors. Kind of like gestures to you guys, and says, "You know those guys down there?" And Dale says, "Which ones? Not cultist ones. Oh, those ones. Unfortunately, yes." Would I could use some help? Probably.
I
As you
cry
kind
up to them. Rude!
as you say that, you watch as a stray duck shot from a rifle hits kind of like a bit of circuitry like on the wall, and you see like the bridge kind of like shine and like spark, and suddenly fail as Kainir, Dale, and a bunch of cultists fall to the ground.
Right.
I'm gonna make dex saves for all of them.
Great.
Luckily, most of you are out of the way. I think probably one of the, there might be some people that fall on top of or near Krook. But other than that, you're probably
Dead.
fine.
He can't. He
So-
doesn't have anything to say about it.
I'm gonna make dex saves for Kainir and Dale. They both succeed, so they're not gonna take any damage. But the cultists, I'm gonna make for them. Oh fuck! On the floor. Can't do this back. They fail, so they're all gonna take a d6 of falling damage. Okay, so you see kind of like some of the already wounded cultists kind of like break their legs on the floor and pass out
Oof. Ouch.
as they land. All right, so okay. All right, so Krook, make a death save.
Yep. Right. Oh, another fail. Oh God.
Are you on
It's
2
2 for 2.
fails?
Okay,
2 for 2.
Lucifer's gonna cast Spare Dying on you, because he's nice.
That's what I was waiting for.
And with that, so the doors at the far end, which previously had been unopened, the doors at the center of the room, you kind of hear off in the distance kind of a clanging and kind of a screeching. And you watch as the doors kind of like slide apart, these kind of two kind of blast door style things. As they slide open, they get stuck halfway. Each of you have one action you can perform before these doors are going to open.
I'm guessing I can't. Am I actually just still unconscious, Jake?
You're just unconscious, yeah.
Are there still a bunch of autists and dirks on the floor?
Most of them. So basically, like, there's only like 3 or 4 left, and you watch as Dale kind of mops them up with the sword.
Okay.
That's her action. She can attack 3 times a turn if she uses just the sword. So. But yeah, Kaino is going to come over and he's going to heal you for 6 hit points.
Cheers.
You watch as he kind of like leans down and kind of what you watch as a golden light rushes out from his fingers, and as you gasp for breath, waking
Oh my
up.
god, we have a healer.
God.
That's nice, right? So I'm on 7 HP then now, aren't I?
6.
But wouldn't I be on 1 for, being...
Spare the dying doesn't give you hit points.
Oh, does it not? That's just 6.
No.
Right. Okay.
That's his action. He kind of like gives you a hand to help you up. Do you take it?
Yeah, sure.
Smick and myself that as soon as a cultist or any bad thing comes through that fucking blast door, it's going to get shot and have an arrow flying at it.
All right. Burial.
I'm going to put bonfire in front of the doors.
For God's sake!
Okay.
I will. This will be useful.
All right. So remind me what bonfire does, just so I know what's going to happen when they come through.
How wide is the?
Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
What does bonfire do?
No, I was asking how wide is the door?
About 10 feet.
I'll put bonfire on one side, on the left side of it then.
Okay.
Because it can only cover a 5-foot cube. Any creature in the bonfire space when you cast a spell, that's 1 point. Creature must also make the saving throw when it enters the bonfire space.
All right.
Or if it ends
Good
its
to know.
turn there.
All right. So you cast bonfire. Krook, I'm going to say that you don't really have a chance to do anything because you got healed and then woke up. Lucifer
Yes.
doesn't do anything either. He's just gonna keep his spooky claws up with the amplify. All right. So the kind of large metal door at the far end kind of finally like clunks and shifts open to reveal. You see kind of like 4 cultists with like holding this thing by like ropes and chains. This large kind of draconic creature that kind of howls, and then you watch as one of the cultists gets too close, and it reaches out and bites its head off.
Nice.
And throws the body across the floor. The rest of the cultists kind of like drop the chains and run as this thing kind of roars and flaps its way into this area. I'm gonna roll initiative for the wyvern.
No,
It's the wyvern. Wyvern, lads.
No.
I think Burial would recognize this as like this isn't a true dragon, given that it's only got 2 legs. But yeah,
It's a
so the wyvern
pseudo
rolls.
dragon. It's a type of pseudo dragon. I don't like any dragons.
This thing is large. It's not small. This is like 10 feet tall.
It's in my book. It's in my book.
It is. Don't look at the stats because of metagaming.
For God's sake. For a second there, instead of book, I thought you said butt.
Oh God.
I'm very sorry.
Is it pink like the one in the picture?
It's kind of more like mottled grey skin.
It's always pink.
Aww.
But yeah,
It's more like
so
a fleshy pink as well, but it's cute.
okay, so it goes at initiative 8, which is going to go after Rebirth, I think.
I have 8.
Yeah, but your dex modifier is higher than this. Okay, to take the guys off that are dead now. Alright. So, your ready action goes off, so both you and Smick can loose your shots at the thing.
Aww. Hang on. What am I doing? Right, so I'm using my Thrasma, aren't I?
Up to you.
Yes.
I would assume yes, because it's just better than your bow in every way.
Yes. Does that hit? 15?
15 does hit.
Oh.
Just.
1d12 plus. Fuck, what is it again? Plus 12 what?
It's d12 plus 3 for you, I think. Damage.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Just went completely blank.
Nice. Yeah. I'll say you can't use your bonus action on the ready action, but you can do on your turn.
Okay. And Smick's bow.
Yeah.
Of course he fucking hits. Hang on. Yeah.
Nice. Alright. Yeah, both the kind of the shot from your pistol and the Smick's arrow fly and kind of embed themselves into its kind of rocky skin as it kind of screams in your direction in fury, but doesn't seem to be all that slowed down by the shots. So now, as it enters the room, it's going to take it's a dex save, isn't it, for the bonfire? James?
It is.
Alright. Which it rolls a 6 on.
That is a fail.
What damage does it take?
5 fire damage.
5, okay.
It was useful.
Yeah, you see it kind of like, it kind of steps on it briefly and like hisses at it, but doesn't seem too hurt by it. Alright. So, we now go into initiative. It
Can you
is.
roll again?
No, we're keeping the same initiative. That'd be absurd. Anyway,
Are you rolling in Dale and?
I already
Right.
rolled their initiative at the beginning.
No, I'm calling him
They go
Cunningham.
before. They go before all of you guys.
course they
that's
do.
pretty on point.
Yeah, Dale rolled a 22 and Kaina rolled a 21. So
I would
they're
like
both
to say
pretty
that
on
it
it.
is 10 to 5 as well, so.
That's true. Actually, we could leave this if you guys don't want to carry on for a bit. I mean, like in theory, like unless anyone has to go, I will go until like 5:30. But
Well, either way
I
we
don't
go,
mind
we
continuing.
still probably won't finish the encounter by 5:30.
it's up to you guys. We can stop here or we can continue. But
Don't mind, to be honest.
Stop here for now.
unless Tom says otherwise, then we'll stop here.
Sure, if that's what you want to do. I'll follow it up.
All right. So we'll find out what happens next time. Luckily, you guys are all you're all conscious. What is that fucking clicking noise?
It is
Something from Tom.
annoying.
I seriously, I hope just that guy doing 43 damage in total didn't help. That wasn't the best, to be honest with you.
Lol. I mean, yeah. In all fairness, like that guy had a ton of hit points. And he also, like, his friend, the criminal Justicar, has an ability that allows him to, like, as a reaction, reduce damage to something he can see. So, like a bunch of times where you did like a bunch of damage, he was like taking less than you were dealing. So
I wanted to ask before I forgot. Would I be able to change one of my meta magic options?
sure.
Right, sure. Wait, can I do that? Can I do that now or later?
You've not used any of this level yet, so I'll say you can do that now.
It's just one of them is turning out to be less useful than I thought it would be.
That's often the way with meta magic, to be honest. Like it's only comes up in certain scenarios. Like I've got subtle spell on one of my other sorcerers, and I don't ever use it because it's a really good thing to have in a roleplay focused game. And it also makes it very difficult to shut down spellcasters because usually you blind them or you silence them, but it doesn't work with subtle spell. But otherwise, it's not very useful. Yeah. But yeah, hope that was at least a little bit enjoyable for you guys.
It was nice.
There was like a quasi cutscene going on above you as you were fighting. So
just so you're aware, ship them. These two characters.
Before you go,
It may not. Pardon?
Before you go, Jake, what book is like the extra races from, like the Tabaxi and that?
Volo's Guide to Monsters.
Okay.
There's also like a couple extra races in Warden Kane's Tome of Foes, but that's mostly like high CR monsters. So like there's like in that one you've got a bunch of new tiefling subclasses, some new elf subclasses, and Gith, but that's about it for players. Yeah, Githyanki and Gith's alright. I like those guys a lot. I want to play them in a game at some point, but so far, most DMs have been like, the one DM that I was like, hey, can I play this in your game? He was like, I don't understand how the astral plane works and don't really understand how it fits into my lore, so we'll say no for now. I was like, okay, I'll play Oswald instead.
Silly me, I didn't realise there was a character sheet at the back of this player's handbook.
Yeah.
It would make sense.
I mean, most people don't write on those because, like, you can't really tear it out very easily, but yeah.
No, God, no, I'd never write in this book.
I assume it's so you can photocopy it, but, yeah.
It's easy just to Google one.
It is, yeah. And all published in the same format, so.
Well, maybe you can use one in my campaign if I ever finish it. Or my one-off if I ever finish it.
Fair enough. But yeah, also, yeah, if any of you guys, like, do decide to DM something for, like, any period of time, I'm up for that, because it gives me, like, I can take a break off from DMing for a bit. And you guys can have a go at it. So.
Also, there's a monster in here that I really like that's basically a humanoid ant person.
Oh, Tricrine.
Yeah, and they eat things. They eat anything. Like, they eat
do.
people. I love it.
Aren't they also, like, slightly psionic as well? They've got, like, telepathy and stuff like that. Or I think of something else.
Yeah, they do. In the range of 60 feet.
I was trying to make a race out of those, but it's difficult because they've got a lot of weird abilities. They also don't sleep.
Yeah, they can just do it while doing like light tasks.
Yeah, they're basically short rest for 8 hours. It's like, oh. But yeah, yeah. No, like I hopefully like next session should be interesting. Like, yeah. Also, like I like how he's like, oh yeah, we've got a healer. It's like, well, one type of ability, so good luck with that.
He can heal more
Yeah.
than the rest of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he healed you for exactly 6 hit points because that's the exact amount of healing he can do.
Oh.
That all of the healing he can do.
Yeah, he's got. So yeah, like this is this is pretty obvious from like how he looks. Like this guy is literally glowing. He's got. Yeah, so to give you like visual descriptions of these guys, I've given you the description of Dale before, but I can give it to you again if you need it.
No.
But Kainir is this kind of like he's well muscled, probably about kind of like 6'2". He's quite like he's not like super ripped like Krook is like kind of bodybuild level. This guy is like he's still strong, but he doesn't. It seems to be kind of like more sinuous.
He's basically going to be someone that Crew's going to try and fight.
Oh yeah, damn it.
Probably.
Oh damn it, Crook.
That's gonna be fun.
Do it after.
Yeah.
When we live.
Yeah, he's kind of like his hair is kind of like silvery white that fades to black, and his eyes are kind of his irises are silver, but there's like splinters of like a million different colors in there. He's pretty distracting to look at, to be honest. But and he's got like these runic tattoos over his arms, back, and chest that glow luminously, and the glaive he's holding in his hands also, like the blade, shines with like astral fire. And yeah, he also healed. Yeah, he healed Krook for 6 hit points because he has healing hands. For any of you that have ever met an Aasimar before, he is quite obviously an Aasimar. And that's why he could heal you. But he can only heal you for one time, and it has to be exactly like 6 hit points. So, yeah. Just so
Right.
you were.
Right. Next time then.
Yeah.
Bye.
Ta-ra.
Me.
Bye.
But yeah, no.